Hello, everyone. This evening, what's on my mind to reflect with you a little bit has to do with the Chrism Mass. Tomorrow, Wednesday of Holy Week, is usually when we have the Chrism Mass. All the priests of the diocese gather together with the people and around our bishop. And while the bishop blesses the oils that are used for the sacraments for the next full year, we as priests renew our vows, right? The Chrism Mass is something that has a tight association with Holy Thursday, actually, but there's permission in the liturgy to move it to another day when it might be more available for the people to join with the priests to come and to pray for them. And so it's really beautiful. On one side of the church sit all the priests, and on the other side of the church sit all the people. And there comes a time when the priests are all asked to stand and renew our vows. And it's a beautiful gift for me to be there with Bishop Noonan, who ordained me almost 7 years ago, and to be renewing my vows in his presence. There's a lot of guys, priests in our diocese, who have been here for decades. 50 years and more. And they've been serving the church faithfully, and they've seen bishops come and go, and they're renewing their vows as well. And so it's really humbling, it's beautiful, it's inspiring, and it's a rededication, it's a renewal of giving my total yes, my fiat, my I do to the Lord and to the church. And it's something that I always look forward to. Usually a small group of priests will go and gather somewhere and grab food afterwards, and just kind of talk about what's been going on with Holy Week right in the midst of it. And it's special. It's a celebration of the institution of the priesthood. Again, that tight association with the Mass of the Lord's Supper on Holy Thursday, where we celebrate the institution of the priesthood and the Eucharist. So with that in mind, tonight I'm thinking this year's Holy Week obviously is very different, and we won't be all together at the cathedral tomorrow. We won't have the privilege of standing together to renew our vows with one voice in the same place, but that'll still be happening. The bishop's still celebrating the Chrism Mass and broadcasting that even to your homes. So tomorrow, Wednesday at 6:30, tune in and listen to the bit, watch the Mass, participate in the Mass with the bishop, and I think the clergy of the cathedral are with him, and so he'll be, I imagine, asking those questions to those priests, to help them make those vows. It's all these questions about, do you renew this commitment? And sorry, I'm all itchy right now. It's all just aimed towards this beautiful celebration of priesthood. So with that in mind, I'm looking forward to renewing my vows tomorrow. And I'm thinking about the theme of vocation and fatherhood, that as a priest, right, what does everyone call me? Father Benjamin. That the fatherhood that's lived out in the priesthood is a very real fatherhood. And it's fatherhood in every single way except for genetics, right? Except for biology. But it's not totally detached from biology either, because you have to be a man to be a spiritual father. And if you're a woman, you can be a spiritual mother. Like, I'll never know what spiritual maternity feels like, because I'm never going to be a spiritual mom to anybody. Now, that being said, this year in particular, I'm thinking about the domestic church, the church that is in your home, the church that you are as a family. And who is the spiritual father in the domestic church, right? In the great institution of the church, the hierarchy of the church? I'm the spiritual father of this place. And that's a great blessing. It's an amazing call. I love my calling, right? I'm proud of that and humbled by it. And you, men, in your home, called to be priest of the domestic church, called to be not just a father of physical progeny, but a spiritual father. Let me tell you a little bit about what I mean. When I was in high school, I was involved in a youth ministry that changed my life. And there was a couple of men, but one in particular, who became a real, true blue spiritual father to me. His name's Lance, and he's got a lot of other children that he has adopted, and he has been a spiritual father to. And none of us are really children anymore. We're all grown up now. But I just got off the phone with him now and had a chance to talk about, like, all of this, all the things that are going on. Some things have been racing through my head, some things that have unsettled me, And he just sat there and listened to me and let me kind of download with him and kind of bounce some stuff back to me and help me to find more peace about things. He's a father to me. He's never a priest, right? He was never like an official minister of the church. He was a volunteer in a youth group, And he and his wife, Nicole, have been spiritual parents to me for a long time. They helped me find my vocation. Right? I guess what I'm trying to say to you men is that the calling to be priests of the domestic church is real, and it's important. It's critical. And there's a lot of things to point at within the church to say, well, here's where the church is failing and falling apart, and this is why the church isn't thriving and strong. And one of those things I think is family life. And I think men should be more outgoing and take more initiative in spiritually leading their families. Right? So I just want to offer that as an invitation to you, right? To remind you who you are and what you were made for. You were made to be a selfless husband who pours himself out in self-sacrificial love for his wife, for his children. Right? In the same way that I'm supposed to imitate Christ, the bridegroom, on the cross as he pours out his life for his bride, the church. So you and I are called to lay down our lives for our respective brides. Me, the mystical bride of Christ. My computer likes to make noises in the middle of my videos sometimes. Isn't that nice? Let me see if I can. I'm still new at this, right? Can I get a pass on that? All right, thanks. So in the same way that I'm called to lay down my life for the mystical bride of Christ, the church, so you also are called to lay down your life in service of your wife and of your children. In any way that I can be a resource for you, I'm here. We need each other. We need to build each other up as brothers, right? Because our vocations are not so different. We serve different people in different ways. And what a blessing that we have each other. So this is just a kind of a call and a reminder to the men of our community and to the Church Universal to remember that you also are called to priesthood. We all are called to priesthood by our baptism. The way that I live out the ministerial priesthood is different than the way that you live out your priesthood in the domestic church as husband and father. But let's be intentional this week especially about being willing to step up, maybe even stepping out of our comfort zones and being a real, true, blue spiritual leader for the domestic church. Men, I'm praying for you. God bless you. Do well. Promise God's going to be there for you. And if you don't know what to do, look to St. Joseph. He's a pretty good intercessor. He'll show you the way. May the Lord give you his peace.